are going to move over to our village treasurer for budget presentation.
Thank you. Okay. Short and sweet today. Okay, talking about the general and sewer funds. First, I'm going to talk a little about the budget process and then get into a few numbers with the general and sewer funds. Okay, the budget process is a months-long occurrence. Even in December, I give a heads up to department heads that I need some numbers from them. Start making your estimates and come up with some figures for me. And then we have meetings and discussions and talk about, you know, what kind of capital projects we want to do, what sorts of just general improvements we're looking at, what might have been postponed in a prior year that we want to push up the priority list. Okay, plowing ahead with workshops, continuing discussions. And then April 15th is our deadline to have this public hearing that is about to happen. So this is our last shot to get that in. And then the board needs to adopt the budget by May 1st. Okay, what goes into building a solid budget? A lot of stuff. Some things I'll just take the numbers and, you know, based on inflation or historical data, I will modify them, usually increase lines accordingly. Department heads can feed me a lot of the information that I need there. Some things are known, like lease payments, debt service, things like that are already established and inflexible. Then we have projects coming up that we've negotiated in the preliminary talks. State and federal funding, grants, and things like that come into play. Trends like inflation and the tax cap and the constitutional tax limit also need to be considered. The difference between those, the tax cap caps the increase in taxes that we're allowed to impose year over year, while the constitutional tax limit is like a numerical cap on the tax levy that we can impose in any given year. Any questions so far? All right. Okay, the general fund. We're looking at a tax rate this year of 2.268 per thousand. So our property taxes are coming in at a little over 576,000. Sales tax is, as usual, our biggest piece of the revenue pie. Then we have state and federal aid. Other revenues include building permits, passport processing fees, gross receipts tax, things like that. Here we are in pie form. Same numbers, different format. All right. Okay, appropriations for the general fund. The biggest chunk is transportation. We've got to make sure that the roads are drivable, sidewalks are functional, nobody's going to fall and break a hip or anything like that. Let's see. Home and community services is another sizable chunk. That's 10%. Let's see. 19. Employee benefits, health insurance, things like that are in there. Let's see. All right. Current and future projects. We're going to be replacing the roof above our heads. Various roads get maintained to a certain degree every year. Jake's got a years-long rolling plan to make sure that every road is maintained appropriately. We also have a plan for vehicle and equipment replacement. We've replaced several trucks this year. And then the ongoing thing with the Sandbar Wells decommissioning project is something that we have gone in with the town to get a grant for a large portion of that funding, but that still needs to be considered. Okay, on to the sewer fund. Our rate per unit is going to $2.25 this year for estimated sewer revenues of just short of $1.4 million. And that is the huge majority of our sewer revenues. Here's a comparison with last year, or the year that we're about to wrap up. This $30 a year increase per unit comes out to about $2.50 a month. So I'd pay $2.50 a month to be able to flush. All right. Our budgeted, oops, let me go back there. Our budgeted appropriations are pretty, well, they went up about $100,000. A lot of that is debt service. We're going to be putting funds into reserves so that we can pay down the bond that we're using to do our sewer improvement project. Okay, revenues in pie chart form. And appropriations. Home and community service is pretty much, making sure the sewers work. Everything else is making sure the sewer department works. Okay, I just put this in here because it's fun. That's our new Webster truck.
It's a beauty.
Our flush truck, yes it is.
Yeah, she drives it up.
Yeah.
So cute.
This concludes our very brief presentation. Happy to answer questions. Anyone?
So is this budget within the tax cap?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, good question.
It's a good thing to publish.
Yeah. Send you down.
The EDUs effective July 1st,
June 1st.
June 1st.
Yep.
That was the prettiest budget presentation I've ever seen.
So I'm just looking at the general revenue, state aid ready grant, you've got nothing there. Shouldn't something be there?
Not for the coming year. The ready grant is in the current year.
Oh, I only mention it because one of the projects you've got well decommissioned. So in this year's budget,
That's true.
the
Well, that
revenue
was,
last year.
that slide was current and proposed.
Okay.
You confused me with that one. So there's no, yeah.
Should I move the slide up? It's a little big forward.
Question down?
No.
Okay.
No, I do not have any questions.
All right.
Thank you,
Great job, Marcia.
Marcia and department heads.
Yep.
Yes, thanks to everyone for their help with the budget this year. Went very smoothly, I think.
Appreciate it.